Okay, let's talk about our guest speaker today. Ben Saltzman, MA, is a graduate of the practitioner training here at Inner Light and past lead of the Abundance Ministry here as well. He has taken the knowledge he learned here and spread the consciousness. He's an internationally known facilitator, shadow dancer, spiritual maverick, and a coach to thought leaders, Fortune 500 CEOs, and multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs. He is the co-founder of the Israeli Enneagram Center in Tel Aviv, Israel, and creator of the transformational coaching with the Enneagram training course for coaches and therapists. I'll get this out, Ben, I promise. He has prepared his clients to meet with and create solid relationships with Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, many billionaires, royalty, kings, and queens of countries. And this is for real. He has been teaching events and holding fundraisers here at Inner Light Ministries for over a decade. And he will be holding a fundraiser today after service. It will be a fun romp through the Enneagram types and coaches, and he will be coaching people to spiritual transformation. This is going to happen in the social hall today between 2 and 5, so be there. And he has another 3-day fundraiser that he's doing in November, and he'll tell you about that later. We are always glad when he brings his humor, his truth-telling, and his grounding in the spiritual principles back to Inner Lights. We love it when you come, Ben. Please help me in welcome Ben Saltzman.
Thank you. Good morning, Inner Light. I'm here to talk about the salvation and the evolution of your soul. Good morning, Inner Light.
Good morning.
Thank you. So we got some work to do here. You know what I'm talking about? In this planet at this time, we got work to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it used to be where we were all kind of on the love train together and, you know, we had some leadership up at the top that was kind of cruising along with us on that love train. Things are different now, yes? So there's something in how we are together and the way that we need to pull together that we can evolve consciousness on a massive scale. With me? Yes. That if we do our work here, if we evolve within this community, it ripples out. So our commitment deepens, yes? Yes. And as we shift consciousness here, as we spiritually evolve in this space, we touch souls who touch souls who touch souls. I'm touching a lot of souls. It's good to be back at the light. Sometimes when I'm out there touching souls, I feel a little bit adrift, unsupported. I have to talk in language that is not native to me. Are you with me here? I kind of have to translate what we know here out there. But when I come back here and I get to work with all of you, I get to take the cuffs off and just let it rip. Deal? Deal? Yes. Thank you. So I like a lot of interaction. I don't like feeling alone up here, so I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions, and as we move through this, you're going to be asking me questions. Good? Yes. And I know that the questions that you ask me are going to be deep and probing because you are so intelligent. That those are the kinds of questions that you ask. With me? All right. I need this. Sorry, camera people, this will just take a second. Got it. Now, as we move through the process, we'll be exploring the ways that we have disconnected from the divine, the ways that we have gone to sleep. How it is that we kind of started in this divine soup, this oneness, where we were part of everything, and there was a way in which there was an undifferentiated soup that we basked in. And then we were born. We came out. It was cold. I didn't get my needs met for food intrinsically. And there was this separation between me and the other. And that started the downward spiral. Because we soon found out that not only did I not get food, but when I cried, sometimes people didn't give me exactly what I wanted. We had some psychological wounding that happened I wasn't precisely attuned to, and I had to develop a defense mechanism, a way of dealing with other humans to get what I want. You with me here? Kind of unsettling for the soul. Because there's a way in which we all long to be back there. And usually in our 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s, for some of us, we realized that was really a nice place. Like, I'm into this oneness thing. And so we start to travel the journey back. And we slowly deconstruct all the stuff that we had to build up to make our way in the world to come back to this starting point where we really want to be. You with me? You open to exploring that journey so that we can move this way a little faster today, yeah? Because this journey starts over here. We're going to call this the diamond. And in that diamond, we're going to explore some facets of it, some parts of the diamond. We call these facets of unity or facets of the divine. These are facets of something that is almost intangible, that's sometimes hard to put language around. But as I describe some of the facets, I'm going to ask that we presence them here today as part of the transformational journey. On board? So even if you don't know exactly what's happening, that you're open and receptive to the presencing of those divine qualities. Raise your hand if you're open to receive, open to be in that. Great. Thank you. So each facet on this diamond not only has some language associated with it, but also a feeling state, a way of being that we're going to invoke, with the knowledge that we are just a drop of this diamond, that each of us, just a drop of that divine presencing, our own unique snowflake, our own unique drop of that oneness that comes through and manifests onto this earth plane. With me here? Yeah. And that as we invoke that oneness, as we invoke the facets of the diamond, and we become more aware of those, they infuse our being. This is good news. That we're not trapped here. That we can make our way back. Now, the bizarre thing that I've been running into for the last 20 years, so this is 20 years of doing live transformational work with folks and seeing thousands and thousands of souls go through transformational journeys, like in the trenches. With me here? Is that we have a unique one of these facets that we lose contact with. So the facet that you lost contact with may be different than yours, might be different than yours, might be different than yours, might be different than yours. And the one that we lose contact with creates a very specific ego structure that's trying to get back to what we lost. So each facet of this unique diamond we go to sleep to, ours. And then our ego is like, I got to get back. I want to be in the oneness. I want to be in that diamond space. I've got to create myself or do something to try to recreate that lost aspect because I know I'm not whole. With me here? And if I'm not whole, and I know that there's a part inside of me that wants to be whole, that longs to be whole, that says I am divine, and I've lost contact with this thing, it almost feels desperate, like a life or death situation to regain that lost aspect of the divine. And we call these the 9 types on the Enneagram. 9 paths back to wholeness. Now, as we explore a couple of these, there are 9 total. I won't be able to act out all 9 of them, but I'll do 3 of them for you. And as I act out 3, along the journey of transformation, you get to ask me questions, those deep, probing questions. We have to choose those 3 that we're going to do. And raise your hand if you have heard of the Enneagram in the past, like you know this. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Okay. So you get to choose which of the 3 we're going to do today. Anybody have a preference? What would you like to see? Type 3, 5, 3, 5, and 8. Those are the first ones I heard. 3, 5, and 8 were the first ones I heard. So those are the ones we're going to do today. 3, 5, and 8. Which ones?
3, 5, and 8.
Great. So I'll talk through all of these so you'll get a sense of what the divine aspects are that have been lost. But when we get to 3, 5, and 8, we'll do the full deal. Go into them in depth. Got it? Sound good? Okay. So we'll start with number 1. That divine quality of essence that the one lost contact with is called divine perfection. As I talk about it, you feel it. Divine perfection is this state of knowing that perfection is all around us. It's in our conversation. It brought you here today. We can see it in nature. It's in you right now. Nothing wrong, nothing missing. We are divine perfection. You feel this? The type 1 has lost contact with that. And it wants desperately to get back. And so if I've lost contact with divine perfection and I don't know it inside of me, I'm trying to create it in a world that looks imperfect, that looks marred, awful, missing, confused. And so I'm looking for what's wrong and what's missing and how do I get back? And I see inside of me everywhere that I'm wrong and I'm not perfect, and everywhere out there that you're not right and you're not perfect. It's a horrendous experience to be inside of this. Can you feel it? And so my path back is actually to surrender to the divine perfection that's here, rather than trying to create it all the time. With me? So repeat after me. I surrender to divine perfection.
I surrender to divine perfection.
Nice. Knowing that that's around all the time. That is the path back. That archetype is in each of us. Yes, the ones have it in a deeper way, but all of us have that. You know that place inside of you that feels judgment of self, judgment of others? Yeah. That we surrender back into, relax into divine perfection. Yes? Right. Type 2. The particular facet of the diamond that type 2 has lost contact with is holy will. Instead of holy perfection, they lost contact with holy will. Holy will is this knowing that the divine has something inside of it that is moving forward. That we don't have to push the world. That there's a plan out here that is larger than we are, and that there's a movement into something that goes beyond what we first thought. Einstein said, I refuse to believe that God plays dice with the world. Like there's no mechanism, there's an organic something that wants to move forward of its own volition. You feel me here? And that, what that means, if I lose contact with that, it means I think I've got to move you forward. Because I just lost track of there's a divine something that moves us forward. So I've got to move you forward, and I've got to move you forward, and I've got to move you forward. And so I'm trying to move the whole world forward because inside there's a panic that there's not something larger than me. With me? So please repeat after me. I surrender to the divine will.
I surrender to divine will.
Yeah. That holy will that moves us forward. Type number 3. The aspect of the diamond that got lost for type 3 is called holy hope. This idea that we move into a life in alignment with something that creates a positive expectation, a positive outcome, that we're not alone, and that there's some divine laws in place that has an orientation that is larger than we are, and that moves us forward in such a way that we don't have to push. The type 3 lost track of that. And as a little type 3, I get to act out 3, yeah? All right, so I'm going to act out 3 before transformation over here when they are deep in their stuff, and then post-transformation along the evolutionary path. As I act it out, you get to ask me questions. Deal? Type 3. Male or female? Which one should I be? Female. Female, type 3. Good morning. Good morning. What I want you all to know is that I get stuff done. And not only do I get stuff done, I achieve and I look good doing it. I'm like, I'm all that and a bag of chips, check me out. You can't keep up with me. I go and I drive and I push, and whoever's on my arm, they are happy to be on my arm because we look good together. Along the journey of life, I produce. Now, sometimes I kind of lose myself because I look this way for you and I look this way for you, and then when I'm over at your house, I know exactly what to say and how to look and what to wear. But can you feel that you might lose yourself if I'm becoming something for everybody in my life? And that if I go and push and drive, at some point, I just burn out. I lose everything. Anybody have a question for me as a pre-evolved type 3? Yes?
What's your deepest fear?
What's my deepest fear? I don't really like that you're asking me that. Undoing the image. My deepest fear is that you will see through the false fronts and reject what's in here. I don't like that. I have another fear that I'm going to be caught and not able to move, incapacitated. Worst fear. Any other questions that are not so revealing? Yes. Am I connected to my own emotions? Not really, pre-transformation, but I'm very good at reading yours. I am a heart-based type, and I can read, how are you feeling about me? Oh, no, that's not quite right. Now, how are you feeling about me? There we go. Okay, so I'm out there looping into you all so that I get to look the right way. I don't read my own emotions. I don't know what I'm feeling that much, but I got a good read on how you are experiencing me. With me? Yeah. Okay, last one.
You like being alone?
Now and then, as long as I can still produce. Being quiet by myself and not moving, painful. Because I got to produce. With me? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. The question is, can I transform? And the answer is, yes, you can transform. And on the word transform, you guys give me this. Okay? So I'm going to ask you, can I transform? You say, yes, you can transform. Ready? Can I transform?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. I'm a transformed type 3 over here, back into oneness. I don't move so fast. I've got more ground. My authenticity comes out. There's more of me that you can feel. I know my emotions now. I can feel them. I'm with them. Can you feel the difference?
Yes.
I've slowed down. There's an organic pacing to my life. With me? I feel the connection to other souls. my heart opens, and we connect. Yeah? Please give our one a round of applause for coming in. Our three a round of applause, sorry. Okay, 4. Take a breath with me for 4, because they're deep. The facet of the divine, the facet that the 4 has lost contact with is called holy origin. This place where we know that we all started, that we all were based in, connected to this higher divine something. And so some of us have been in spaces and places where people refer to the God outside, that there's a God that sits out there and judges, that it's separate from me, that I'm lost here and it's out there. There's something tragic in that I'm not one with. I feel orphaned, abandoned. And so the 4, more than any other type, feels that sense of loss and abandonment. And the path back is to surrender and know that I am one with, that I am holy origin. So repeat after me. I surrender to holy origin. Yeah, so that you know that you're one with. With me? 5. Ooh, we get to act this one out too, right? Type 5 on the Enneagram. The holy idea that they lost contact with is called holy omniscience. This is this place where we get access to everything, to all knowledge, like God's mind. That there's knowledge out here that we have instant and instantaneous access to at any moment, at any time. There's an innate knowing within us, an intelligence within us, that we can know everything instantly, and it's all here, all available. With me? That got lost. Went into the background. You want me to be a male 5 or a female 5? Male 5. Some of the guys were like quick on that one. Good morning. Ooh. I'm a 5 on the Enneagram, and I want you to know that from this perspective, you all are kind of scary. That pre-transformation, humans are a little bit awkward for me to deal with. You guys say stuff and bump into each other and run all this emotion and energy, and every time I look at you, I'm like, I don't really understand what you're doing. What's happening out there? Because I'm cut off from the heart center. I'm cut off from the body. So all the emotional stuff that you're doing doesn't really land here, and I'm socially awkward. And I can make gaffes, like, that's a nice dress. Did you make it yourself? Or, you don't seem to be very good at baseball. Are you practicing? And people don't become my friends very easily. And so it's awkward for me. Now, there's often this sense of not enoughness, so I spend hours and hours alone because you all are scary, and also to kind of replay what happened and how I need to be and recharge my batteries because you humans drain me. Any questions for me as a pre-transformation type 5? Thank God, no questions. Oh God, there's one there, yes. What do I fear the most? Those invasive type 2s that want to get inside and ask me questions and know what I'm thinking and feeling, and oh God, like anything that's that invasive is difficult for me. Yeah. What inspires me? I love knowledge. I love learning. I love going deep into that exchange of ideas with other smart people that can do the intellectual game with me. You know, I like that. Yes?
How's your relationship life?
People tell me I'm hard to get to know. See, but here's the weird part. Once I create relationship with you and we're in connection, you live inside me. So I can not have contact with you for years. But somehow I feel connected. Doesn't work so well for my wife. We went to couples counseling, me and my wife, and the therapist was asking, well, have you ever said, that you're in love with her? And she goes, well, he hardly ever tells me. And I'm like, I told you last year. I'll let you know if there's a change in status. Like, what do you need? Yeah.
What frees you to transformation?
What frees me for transformation? Great, let's talk about that for a minute. I'm going to ask you the magic question. Can I transform?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. So, my transformational journey, I find the heart and the body. I move in. I let go of that place inside that I feel overwhelmed by other souls and spirits. I come out into contact and connection, and you all are less scary. I actually start to enjoy humans. That's good. That's transformational for me. The fact that I can start to feel my heart and I can start to feel your heart. That I can start to feel my body and I actually enjoy throwing a ball or having contact or receiving hugs. That's good news. I experience a world of bounty and plenty instead of a world where I need to hoard my own resources and time. Can you feel the difference? That's my step towards oneness. My omniscience is back. Please give our five a round of applause. The sixes have lost track of that internal knowing that there is holy strength and holy faith. Strength is that inner sense of, I've got it, I'm good, I'm strong, I can handle it. Faith is what comes when we know that there's strength. I live in a world in which I'm supported. I live in a world in which something larger than me is looking after me. With me? You feel the difference? So the six, they lost track of that. And if I don't have faith, and if I don't have strength, there's a place inside of me that feels awkward, nervous, anxious. Are we going to be okay? There's a lot of dangers out there. What's going on? Who's going to get me? Who has the authority? I want to have the authority. You have the authority. Can I trust your authority, or do I have to trust my authority? I don't know. It's really hard. I get lost in the anxiousness and the fear, and as I evolve, I come back into faith, into strength. So repeat after me. I surrender to divine faith.
I surrender to divine faith.
Nice. Feel it? 7. The aspect of the divine that the 7 has lost contact with is holy work, holy plan. This knowing that there is a larger plan, that I can surrender to this larger plan, that it takes care of me and it takes care of you. And that surrender allows me to react in this moment, right here, right now, with absolute presence. I don't have to worry about the future. I don't have to rehash the past. I can be totally present with you. That's gone into the background. That's lost. So when that gets lost, I've got to create the plan. I've got to totally be ahead of wherever we are right now, making sure that this is going to happen and that's going to happen and it's going to be fun and it's going to be joyful and we're all going to be taken care of. I've got to plan all the time because I've lost contact with that inner knowing. You with me? So as we move along the evolutionary journey, we come back into holy work, holy plan, in a knowing kind of way. So repeat after me. I surrender to the holy plan. Yeah, and that relieves you of having to make it happen. With me? Type number 8. Oh, we get to act this one out too, yes? There's people out there chuckling already. Type 8. What they lost track of is this idea of holy truth. The truth of our connectedness. The truth of the immediacy that we have with the world, the intensity that is there. This intensity, this immediacy of we're like this, but our egos can't handle that. None of us can handle the intensity of the immediacy of the divine in me touching the divine in you. That is so huge, so sparky, so alive, we can't deal with that. So we go to sleep, otherwise we burn each other out. With me? So the type 8 has an extraordinary knowing that that's the truth. But it ain't happening. And it kind of pisses me off. There's an intensity inside me that wants to come up and meet that, but the rest of you are kind of playing small. From my type 8 brother in the back. Who knows? Male or female type 8? What do you want? Female. Female type 8. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Thank you. I'm a pre-transformation type 8 on the Enneagram, and more than any of you, I know we've got work to do. And y'all are only going halfway. I'm laying it on the line all the time. I'm pushing for what I believe in. I'm standing up for those underprivileged people and events and cats and dogs and... I mean, I can't tell you how many people that are down there that need us to lift them up. You know what I'm saying? I do the work. The heavy lifting. My heart is huge. And you guys are only playing halfway. Wake up. Now, I do get things into motion, but sometimes people get a little afraid of me. Can you believe it? I step on their toes. I run over their ideas. They kind of get scared and want to go away from me. Painful. I don't know why. Because I can't see my impact. It's a blind spot for me as an 8. I just can't see it. I've gone to sleep. I deny my own vulnerability. I think I can go and push, and then eventually I usually burn out. I burn myself out. I burn my team out. I burn my husband or my wife out. Like, I go through people. If you can't keep up, it's over. Any questions for me as a pre-transformation type 8?
What makes you sad?
I don't like you at all. Because my worst fear is my vulnerability. That's the thing that I'm protecting with all the bravado. So I do get sad on rare occasions. This stuff crumbles, and it's usually about somebody who has power taking advantage of somebody who doesn't have power. Because that is my domain. It's what I attend to. It's the lens that I look through. Who's got the power? Are they wielding it properly? Yes?
What does success mean to you?
Success, well, at this point right now, it just means that I get to dominate and control. Because then I'm safe. Before transformation, Like, I get to create safety, I'm in control, you're doing what I'm telling you to do, we're good. Last one.
Are you aware of other people's emotions?
Slightly.
Do you care?
Slightly. Until I start the transformational journey. So this is what that journey looks like. For me, I move this way, and that heart that is really big, we call it magnanimous heart, that has been secluded, comes out. It gets integrated. And when my heart breaks open, it is huge. Like archetypal hearts breaking open. And then the love can come out. And then the caring can come out. And I can still move people into action. Think Martin Luther King. As an integrated, evolved type 8, I still have power, but it is now transformed. I'm no longer so interested in protecting me. I am now interested in protecting us. Our evolution is my primary concern. The well-being of the other humans is my primary concern. My bigness has somewhere to go. Can you feel this? Can you feel the softening? Can you feel the care? Thank you. Please give a round of applause to our 8. And now, type 9, the last facet of unity. And this is some people call it the original sin, the one at the top of the Enneagram that embodies all the others. This one has gone to sleep to our own divinity, the original way that we go to sleep to our own divinity. And the aspect is called holy love. This knowing that we're all unified, connected, one with each other through holy love. That we are really in that soup. That's the truth of our being. And that's gone into the background. And so as a 9, I'm trying to create that all the time. So how do I create that? Well, I just allow my consciousness to go out and mingle with yours. I blur the boundaries between us. So I don't know where I end and you start. I just kind of go into like a soupy, sleepy space where I almost replicate that oneness. And my agenda is your agenda. My beliefs are your beliefs. My personality is your personality because I'm in the soup. Feel me? It's not actual love. It's a weird replica of it. We call it a shadowy mimic. The types always trying to recreate the shadowy mimic of that divine essence quality that we've lost contact with. With me? So as a 9, as I evolve, I differentiate me from you. I start to own myself as a separate actor. I get to be on this planet, in this body, distinct from you. Now back there, that would send me into a panic. But over here, I know my needs, my desires, who I am, who you are, who we are. Can you feel the difference? You know. So repeat after me. I surrender to the divine love. So that oneness thing, the actual oneness, not the pretend oneness, can become part of our lived experience. We can look into another and say, I am God, you are God. I see the divine in you. I know that because it's in me. So that divine presencing permeates. With me? So that is your journey through the 9 types and the differentiations. Thank you for taking the journey. I'm going to pray us out, and then I'm going to put on my fundraising hat for Inner Light Ministries and tell you about the 2 upcoming fundraisers. Good? So we turn within, we close our eyes. I speak my word for all of us, knowing that we surrender into that aspect of the divine that accelerates our growth, our transformation, our evolution. That we are letting go of layers and layers of our ego stuff without judgment, but through the door of acceptance. That whatever behaviors or beliefs or fears we see in ourselves, we say, "You're good. I accept you, who you are, and for how you are, and for the ways that you show up in my life. I'm knowing that I am one with that divine spirit, and the rest of this is just story." I say yes to my developmental journey. I say yes to my spiritual evolution. I say yes to calling in those souls and spirits that support me on the journey. I say yes to raising my vibratory pattern so that I can touch other souls and spirits, so that we do this together. I say yes to community, to contact, knowing that it is through the mutual heart opening that my soul gets to evolve. And for this I say thank you. For the openings, for the transformations, I say thank you. For this exquisite gift of life, thank you. I release this. I let this be. And so it is.